balcony of
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore. We sadly begin this morning with word from the Vatican that Pope Francis has passed away at the age of 88. He died around 7:40 and on this Monday morning. Not too bad of a morning out there.
Yeah, not too bad. It's dry out, a little cold, and as we head throughout the day today, we'll be encountering some rain chances as well. I'll look at the current conditions out there right now. We are dealing with temperatures, again, as I mentioned, in the 20s and 30s. 23 the low up in Saranac Lake, and in the low to mid 30s in the Mohawk Valley. Now, we are still dealing with partly clear conditions, even some low-lying clouds out to the east and west, but the radar right now looking almost entirely dry here across the region. And as I zoom out, our next round of rain is going to be from this approaching low pressure, a warm front that moves through. So it's going to bring up those temperatures a little bit today, but not too much because that trailing cold front will arrive later on tonight. And so today's highs, upper 50s nearing 60 degrees with on and off rain chances throughout the day. And again, by tonight, that cold front will roll through. Tomorrow for Earth Day, a little cooler, but a lot more dry. We have a look at how the rest of the week shapes up and if we're going to be seeing any major cool down coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. The Rome Humane Society.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. Hope everyone had a great Easter. It was a pretty nice day, a cooler one yesterday, and today will be a little bit warmer, but we'll have a lot more when it comes to rainfall chances throughout the day today as low pressure begins to move in from the southwest. A look at some area conditions early this morning. We have the faint twilight of the moon out in the distance there, as well as, of course, the faint twilight of the sunrise from our view from Hartwick College in Oneonta. And then lastly, of course, mainly dry conditions across central New York. Quiet conditions on roadways as well. No incidents to report. Maybe some slowdowns south of Syracuse. But besides that, nothing weather related when it comes to any traffic concerns early today. And so this morning we'll be dealing with partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 30s, climbing up into the 50s by this afternoon with that on and off rain. We'll have a look at those rainfall chances as well as that temperature trend heading into spring break week coming up in this full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thank you. Israel has shared the results.
Well, your day. Watch for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast and be ready for your drive to and from work. The Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast is brought to you by the Pratt Munson College of Art and Design. Visit Pratt Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity.
Ah, yes. The first Saturday in
The Oneonta Cam is brought to you by Semicron Danfoss. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Monday. Today, initially dry, but we'll be dodging a few rain shower chances throughout the day today. But look at downtown Utica right now. It is a quiet morning, a cool morning, temperature of 33. In the Mohawk Valley here early today. And the radar, again, as I mentioned, is dry initially. However, as we head throughout the day and approaching low pressure system from the southwest, we'll be dragging a warm front and then eventually a trailing cold front, and that'll bring a rainfall chances hit or miss throughout the day. But those high temperatures will be right around average, sitting at 59 the high today. Wind speeds this afternoon, not too bad, a little breezy, but nothing like what we experienced last week. And when it comes to the temperature trend for the next 6 to 10 days, yes, the near term is a little cooler, but it's actually right around average. It's what happens later on this week into the coming weekend that'll see a bit of a warm up with a decently above average temperature trend looking ahead to eventually beyond to next week. And with these warmer temperatures, still pollen starting to increase as well. Now, we've got medium pollen levels today, but as we head throughout Tuesday, Wednesday, and eventually Thursday, those pollen levels increase. A lot of you might have seen those trees starting to bud and it's that faint light green, and then before you know it, it's going to be green everywhere and lots of blossoms. I've seen a few apple blossoms as well recently, and that might be some good news for those of you who like some apples or local growing places, but we'll keep a very close eye on frost potential, especially when a lot of these places start blooming. But still, on our bigger picture right now, high pressure keeping things quiet initially today. You can see those rainfall chances heading throughout the overnight, and then into tomorrow morning, that cold front finally pushes through, and then things dry out with high pressure in place for Tuesday as well as Wednesday. And so on our Skycast today, partly cloudy skies turn to some rainfall chances by the afternoon and into the early evening. As you can see here, that secondary round of rain arrives. And then overnight, our final push of rain, which ends by Tuesday morning, a damp start, but things dry out throughout the afternoon with high temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. Then by Tuesday night, overnight lows fall into the mid to low 30s, approaching the frost point. And then as we head into Wednesday, we're looking at highs approaching the mid 50s with plenty of sunshine. So when it comes to Earth Day tomorrow and beyond, still dry weather. As we head into Thursday and Friday, though, we warm up rather quickly, going from the 50s up into the upper 60s to eventually mid 70s by Friday. And it looks to be a pretty warm end to the week. And maybe it might stick around to the weekend, still hit or miss when it comes to those temperatures.
Yeah, nice to see 6 out of 7 days with some sun, huh?
Yeah, not too bad.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:23. Still a house now from the Weather Center with the latest. Good morning to you, Eric.
Good morning, Gary. Yes, it's a cold start today. It's dry. We're going to be tracking a few rain chances throughout the day as well, though. Let's take a look at the current conditions out there right now. Starting out in the 30s across much of the area as we speak. And as we look ahead to the next several hours, we are going to be dealing with temperatures warming up into the 40s, eventually into the 50s by this afternoon. So it's not going to be a very cold day, but it's going to be a more mild day, a more average day, similar to yesterday. The radar right now is entirely dry. The Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Zooming out, though, here comes the arrival of some rain showers from the southwest. And they don't appear to be widespread, leading with on and off rain chances again as the system moves in. So this morning in the 30s, warming up quickly into the 40s and eventually upper 50s. Rain chances hit or miss. Eventually, things dry out by early tomorrow. We are tracking a potential dry stretch for Earth Day and beyond. We'll have a full detailed look at that forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Trump administration's face-off with the...
The Oneonta Cam is brought to you by Semicron Danfoss.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Monday morning. Our photo of the day today takes us to Oriskany, and there were a lot of photos submitted of this phenomenon that took place in the sky, and it might have left you puzzled. If you took a look at the sky the other day, was a scene of a very sharp, sudden drop-off of clouds turning to clear skies, and everyone was wondering what this was. And there are multiple factors that go into producing a cloud effect like this. Don't worry, the world's not ending. It has to do with atmospheric shear, the wind up in the atmosphere, as well as an approaching frontal boundary, too. You have some of this air sinking and some of this air rising. In fact, you see the rigid end of two air masses where you have that air sinking in the far distance, where the clouds are non-existent, and when the air rises closer to the camera, where you see that the cloud layers start to form. When you have that very rigid layer there, that's when you get a cloud that looks like that. So a great scene there taken in Oriskany anonymously. And if you have a photo like that one, if you have any questions of the atmosphere, feel free to ask. We're always here to lend you some feedback as to what might be taking place in the sky. But again, today, we'll be dealing with some on and off rain chances, temperatures right around average, and as we look ahead to the middle of the week, will we see a warm up or a cool down, or will things stay the same? We'll have a full detailed look at that forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Ukrainians in Kyiv woke
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. Time now 5:48, and we are expecting some on and off rain chances today, but we'll be treated to a pretty nice sunrise this morning. A live look at downtown Utica as we speak. We have some mid-level stratus clouds, alto stratus clouds, and cirrus clouds at present, and those are the ingredients you need, along with the bright positioning of it as that sunrise from the east hits that cloud layer at just the right angle. And for now, we are expecting a pretty nice sunrise. Of course, it's red skies in the morning, so sailors take warning, or maybe drivers take warning today, but also really not too much in terms of warnings. Maybe a few rain showers here and there. We're not tracking anything severe today, but the radar as of now is dry, and we'll be seeing a change in that throughout the morning, as well as a warm-up. We are in the 30s and 20s to start. It's a cold day to start today, but you see here we climb quickly to average highs in the upper 50s, low 60s. Matter of fact, it's a pretty average day today by late April standards. Normal low 38, normal high of 59 degrees. And as we turn the page to the end of the week and the early part of the weekend, still slightly warmer than average temperatures. And this will be a trend heading beyond this week and into next week. No major cool down as far as we can tell, which would be great news for those of you who are hoping for a lack of frost. But of course, the downside might be pollen levels, which as it warms up, they continue to increase as we enter the peak of pollen season, eventually into early May. And of course, there are median levels right now, but they increase to high levels on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The top allergens, you can see on the top of the screen there, ash, juniper, and poplar as we speak. And when we head throughout the season, those will change intermittently, depending on what is starting to bloom. But still, a bigger picture, high pressure in place today, at least initially. And you notice out to the west, here comes that low pressures. On and off rain chances throughout the day today as an approaching warm front and then a trailing cold front roll through. Following that cold front, things dry out by tomorrow and by Wednesday, so not too bad as we enter Earth Day tomorrow. But looking at our skycast, zooming in a lot more detail. Initially, partly cloudy skies turn to a mix of clouds and on and off rain. Not a complete washout today, but you can see here by 5 p.m. onwards, here comes the secondary round of rain, then overnight into early tomorrow morning. Then by 6, 7 a.m. for your Tuesday, although it starts out rather damp, things dry out. Stubborn clouds turn to some peaks of sunshine by the afternoon, and high temperatures pushing the upper 50s, low 60s. So an average day tomorrow, a little breezy, and then by Tuesday night into Wednesday, overnight lows fall into the mid-30s, frost potential in some higher elevations, but I do think the winds will be strong enough. Only some sheltered areas in the winds could see some frost. Then by Wednesday afternoon, high temperatures will climb into the mid to upper 50s, still with a decent breeze out there as well. So your 7-day forecast, a pretty seasonable stretch today through Wednesday. Then by Thursday and Friday, here comes that warm-up, upper 60s by Thursday, eventually the mid-70s by Friday with rain chances increasing, cooling down a little bit as we head into Saturday and Sunday. And I'm just right now looking behind you as well as on the screens behind me of that sunrise, monitoring as it might be pretty colorful today.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of that lately.
Yes.
Eric, thank you. A showdown on the streets of New York as Gage joining us now. And Eric, not a bad morning out there so far.
Not too bad. In fact, we're being treated to a pretty colorful sunrise. You might have noticed behind you as well. And temperatures already climbing above freezing. Let's take a look at those conditions around the state as we speak. So first off, we're starting out in the 30s, 20s, up in the higher elevations in the North Country. And we'll continue to track the sunshine initially, turning to increasing clouds. That cloud layer we're seeing as we speak is from an approaching low pressure system, and this will bring in on and off rain chances. Now on top of that, actually some of these producing some thunder and lightning here. Our lightning tracker picking up on a few of them over Lake Erie as we speak. But again, the rainfall later on today, not really widespread, on and off. and a mix of clouds and rain showers here and there. Temperatures will peak in the upper 50s today. We are looking at a similar trend of temperatures beyond today into the next few, but will those rain chances stick around as well? I'll have a full detailed look in that forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Rome Humane Society is working with local meteorologist Eric Gaze joining us. And Eric, not too bad of a morning out there so far.
Yeah, not too bad. The sun is starting to peek over the horizon, and on top of that, temperatures, although cold, warm up a little bit heading to the afternoon. Let's take a look at those current conditions out there right now. We're sitting at 34 degrees at Griffiths and Rome. Still in the 20s up in the North Country, 21 in Saranac Lake, but as you head, say, out near Buffalo, it's a 46-degree start to the day. We're going to see this warm front move in throughout the morning, and that'll, of course, drag with it warmer temperatures. But along with that as well, we're going to be seeing the potential for on and off rainfall chances. Here locally, the radar is dry, but we zoom out in a larger scale, and we can see the arrival of this warm front, a thunderstorm over Lake Erie. That looks to miss our area entirely, but still, you can see these spotty rain showers here and there as this moves north. So we aren't tracking a washout today, but it's still going to be an unsettled day, on and off rainfall chances, and on top of that, temperatures climbing similar to yesterday into the upper 50s with a decent wind out there today. And beyond today, it looks more on the dry side, but will we continue to see a warm up, or will things cool down or stay the same? We have a full detailed look at that forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Trump administration's face.
Omni, cutting edge surgery without the cutting. The Oneonta Camp is brought to you by Semicron Danfoss.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Monday morning. We are sharing our photo of the day today of a submission taken in Oriskany. And if you have photos like this and you want to ask us questions like what's going on in the sky, like this photo here, always feel free to ask, because we'll always explain what's going on in some of these photos. For example, right here, some of you might have seen it yesterday, a very, I would say, straight line, unusually straight line of clouds out in the distance. And there are multiple factors that go into producing a phenomenon like this. That's why it's not too common, but it is still possible. You have sinking air way out in the distance. That's due to high pressure. And what that does is that allows the air to be cloud-free. However, if you move closer to the camera and approaching low pressure, rising air begins to produce that very sharp gradient, and sometimes it's sharp enough where there's a very narrow line of clouds there in the distance. Not a whole lot of moisture, as you can see here. The cloud layer is not that thick, but still it's present. On top of that, additional shear or wind speed in the atmosphere, and wind direction in the atmosphere are also factors that contribute to this. So very complicated atmospheric setup, but still it is something that's not completely out of the ordinary here in pretty much the country and around the world. So today's conditions, a little bit more unsettled than yesterday. Yesterday, plenty of sun. Today, a mix of clouds and even some potential rain showers here and there. We'll break down the potential timing of those rain showers today, and if this lingers into tomorrow or even throughout the week in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Ukrainians in
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Monday. It was a sunny day yesterday for Easter, and today we start out with some sun, but clouds are starting to roll their way in, and it will be a unsettled day for the most part. Downtown Utica, a live view right now, 34 degrees the temperature as we speak, and we'll see that continue to climb throughout the morning. It might take a little bit to actually reach the 40s and eventually 50s, but still, it is a quiet start today. That will change as we head into the afternoon with an approaching warm front from the southwest. That'll bring with it, of course, the potential for some rain showers. In fact, I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. We can actually see this approaching rainfall from the south. Thunderstorms south of Buffalo, and then some sporadic rain beyond that. So, again, the initial round of rainfall isn't expected to be a washout or widespread rain, but still, the potential is there. Today's highs climb to the upper 50s, pushing near 60s, so right around average temperature for late April here in central New York. So not too bad of a day today temperature-wise. And beyond that, as you look ahead to later on this week, this warm trend continues beyond into next week as well. So we're not tracking any major cool downs. In fact, a little bit the opposite. At least for the near term, today through Wednesday is going to be right around average before we warm up even more Thursday and Friday. We'll get to those temperatures coming up in a few minutes, though. But with these warmer temperatures, we are looking at increased pollen levels as we approach Wednesday and Thursday this week. So for those of you like myself who might get the bit of an issue when it comes to pollen, still it's going to be hitting the peak of it as you approach late April, early May. Biggest culprit so far, ash, juniper, and poplar, and again goes from medium levels today to high levels on Thursday and Friday with those warming temperatures. So here we are this morning. It starts out dry with this high pressure, but that low moves in, a warm front with a trailing cold front arrives, and that'll bring those on and off rain chances today. But it does dry out, though, as we look ahead to tomorrow and Wednesday. But zooming in on our skycast, here we are with those rain showers rolling in, on and off rain, still cloudy skies and dry weather possible for a few hours here and there throughout the day. And then beyond that, rain chances overnight, eventually ending by tomorrow morning with sunshine moving in by the afternoon and high temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s, similar to today. Then tomorrow night, overnight lows bottom out near freezing. We'll cut it close, but still the winds are strong enough where we're not expecting a widespread frost. And then by Wednesday, highs climb into the mid-50s with plenty of sunshine. So overall, not too bad of a stretch for Earth Day and beyond, but heading into Thursday and Friday, a difference in temperatures, a warm difference in temperatures in the upper 60s by Thursday, into the 70s by Friday before rain showers move through. So it looks to be a pretty nice week so far for spring break. A lot of kids are probably out and about and enjoying the nice weather.
A lot of sunshine on that 7-day. Eric, thanks. Well, a showdown on the streets.
News with Gary Lipitor.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. The world is remembering Pope Francis today. The Pontific Gage joining us now from the Weather Center. And Eric, as you mentioned, we can hear those thunderstorms right above us.
Yeah, they're passing over us right now, but not everyone's seeing them as we speak. I want to take a look at these cameras across central New York. As we notice right here, some spots, for example, upper camera here on Deerfield, our tower cam, is showing downpours out in the distance. It's downpouring in Utica right now, but Oneonta and even Cooperstown a bit less active as we speak. So it depends on where you are. In fact, look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We've got these moderate to heavy downpours in pretty much the border of Oneida and Herkimer County, right along that line as it continues to move its way north and east. Now, it's encountering an environment with a lot less instability. Notice all these lightning bolts here firing up. They are weakening, and not a whole lot as they're passing into Herkimer County as we speak. A lot cooler air up north. But still, possible downpours here and there. It's not an all-day washout. This rain will end temporarily with mostly cloudy skies this afternoon, and then return to rain showers heading into this evening, roughly around 7, 8 p.m., lingering into the overnight hours, and eventually diminishing as we set the stage for a pretty dry stretch for Earth Day and beyond. We'll have a full detailed look at that week ahead forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Brand new this noon.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are treated to April showers, no longer April snow showers like last week. And for some of you, it's probably a welcome sight, but now we're entering potentially thunderstorm season. In fact, a few of them rolled through the area earlier. Downtown Utica, 46 right now with a rumble of thunder here and there. And some pretty decent downpours in parts of our area as well. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar picking up on that frontal boundary, a warm front entering cooler air. It is, of course, weakening as it moves its way north and east. A lot of that thunder and lightning diminishing as it moves in that direction. But still, if you zoom out This is part of a much larger system that is initially producing some rain showers this morning into the early part of this afternoon, but this secondary front rolls through this evening, roughly around 8 p.m. This will bring with it additional rain chances, which linger into the early overnight, and then things will dry up as we head into tomorrow. But still, this is a pretty large low-pressure system that slingshots this front into our area. In the wake of a average stretch of weather tomorrow for Earth Day and for Wednesday, Thursday and Friday we start to warm up again into the 60s, eventually the 70s to wrap up the work week. So because of that, as we look ahead, next 6 to 10 days, above average. And this continues into next week as well. There'll be some cooler days here and there, but the overall trend points to warming conditions, which means that pollen levels are on the rise. For at least today, they're on the medium side, but by tomorrow and Wednesday, things dry up and they warm up, especially by Thursday. Very high pollen levels are expected. The main culprits are ash and juniper, as well as poplar as we speak. And when we head into the end of the week, of course, those levels continue to rise. So the bigger picture, high pressure is ending and low pressure is moving in. Warm front bringing in some warmer temperatures, and a trailing cold front will bring some additional rainfall this evening and tonight. Then tomorrow and for Wednesday, not too bad of days. They're pretty much around average temperatures in the 50s, but it's looking mainly dry. So here goes that rain this afternoon. Much of that stays to the north, Mohawk Valley and south, largely dry. By 8 p.m., that's when those scattered rain showers roll through, that cold front exits, and then things dry out after some lingering low-level moisture by Tuesday morning. Sunshine by Tuesday afternoon. A bit breezy, but highs will be in the 50s. Same story for Wednesday, although just a heads up, early in the overnight Wednesday, temperatures in the 30s. I do think there's enough of a wind there to keep off that frost, but still, it's going to be cooling down a couple of days here and there, at least for the 7-day forecast. Beyond the overnight lows in the 30s Tuesday night, it's warming up quickly. 69 the high on Thursday and 74 the high on Friday. We'll see how warm it gets Friday, because some of it points to even warmer temperatures as well. So warming up as we speak.
Welcome to spring.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Well, some powerful storms swept across the meteorologist Eric Gage joining us. And Eric, those thunderstorms seem to have passed our way, right?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, these showers and storms are going to come and go fairly quickly. It's not going to be an all-day long event. In fact, a look at some area cameras here. The downpours in Utica itself are now done. They're moving their way more north and east. In fact, the radar is now showing them passing through parts of the Mohawk Valley. Some rumbles of thunder. In fact, a lightning bolt reported just outside of, say, Herkimer and Ilion as we speak. Heading into Little Falls momentarily, and of course some heavier downpours in central Herkimer County, pushing into Hamilton County within the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. And the overall path of this is, of course, heading north and east. This is that warm front. Now, following this, we'll see a bit of a lull in the rainfall activity before more rain arrives later on this evening from that trailing cold front. So because of that, on and off rain expected today. But notice in the just south of this warm front, in the 60s in Ithaca, 58 in Binghamton. Just up here up north, it's a little cooler, 46 the temperature in Rome. It appears to be the coldest temperature across the state so far. But again, we do warm up into the upper 50s by this afternoon. Then those rain showers arrive in the late evening, linger into the early overnight, then they end. So Earth Day will shape up to be a lot more on the sunny side. We are tracking those temperatures heading into the next few days, as well as those pollen levels coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. This may have not seemed possible.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are continuing to track on and off rain showers throughout this early afternoon. In fact, a look in downtown Utica, rain showers past, roads still very damp. Still might be some ponding on some poor drainage areas, but for the most part, this is going to be quieting down in the near term. Temperature still at 46. It's still cold, yet we did see some thunderstorms, some elevated instability, which of course is weakening as it moves away north and east. You can see here just some downpours entering Hamilton County. No real thunderstorms reported there. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder entering Little Falls. But in the wake of that rain shower, yes, there could be some still in the Boonville area, Ava area. But as we head into the next couple of hours, most of that rainfall stays to the north. But we're not done with rainfall just yet. That warm front is now moving through. A cold front is approaching next. It is outside of Buffalo to the west. It'll reach our area later on this evening and tonight. That'll drag with it cooler weather, well, somewhat cooler weather, because that front turns somewhat stationary, and we'll be seeing a mild stretch of weather for tomorrow and for Wednesday. But following that, Thursday and Friday, heading into the weekend, warming up. Next 6 to 10 days, above average temperatures are expected, which means that those pollen levels are on the rise. Medium levels today, Tuesday and Wednesday, high levels, and then very high levels on Thursday. So we're entering the brunt of pollen season. It's just a heads up that we'll be encountering that with these warmer temperatures, which warmth as well as a lack of rainfall are the two main ingredients that produce those high pollen levels in spring. So, bigger picture, we've got this low pressure moving its way east. Warm front and cold front move through. Again, as I mentioned, that front turns somewhat stationary. See it right here. And we're in this green zone. It doesn't really warm up or cool down all too much in the near term, but as we head into the longer range, it does continue to warm up. So to our skycast today, showers to our north, then scattered showers this evening and tonight. Those rain conditions end overnight by early tomorrow morning. Stubborn clouds and low-level moisture turn to sunshine by Tuesday afternoon for Earth Day. Highs in the 50s. Then by tomorrow night, we're entering the season where we're keeping a very close look on frost potential. And there could be some in some pockets here and there, but the winds look to be strong enough where widespread frost is not expected Wednesday night. Then into Thursday, or I should say Tuesday night into Wednesday. Then by Wednesday afternoon, highs in the 50s. Thursday, even warmer. We're in the upper 60s with still the sunshine. Rain chances increase by Friday, high 74. And then it cools down a little bit by Saturday with widespread rainfall turning to more sunshine and highs in the 60s by Sunday. We'll be right back.
Time for our first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
So the weather this week looking a lot warmer. We're taking a step in the right direction. It's going to feel a lot more like spring here, and feeling like spring out there today. Even some rumbles of thunder that happened earlier today. Showers are in the forecast if you're heading out. Maybe heading out to go for a run go the distance. Again, we're looking at a couple of showers out there. It doesn't look too wet. Temperatures will be in the 50s. We're tracking these showers moving in from the west. They're relatively light this evening. But as we go farther to the west, we can see some thunderstorms out towards Buffalo. These will be arriving later this evening and into early tonight as a cold front rolls through. Current temperature 57 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, showers, thunderstorms tonight. Sunshine returns tomorrow. A generally nice and warm week ahead, especially as we head towards the end of the week. We have an opportunity of seeing the northern lights here. I'll let you know when that could happen coming up. Showers around this evening, temperatures in the 50s. I've got to look at the week ahead. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Rome police arrested a man.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Mostly cloudy skies this evening. We're tracking a couple of sprinkles and showers out there. Overall, a pretty warm week ahead. You know, a lot of kids are on spring break this week, and actually should be a pretty nice week weather-wise. Temperature of 57 degrees, cloudy skies, a live look in downtown Utica. We are tracking a few showers to the west, even a few thunderstorms out towards Buffalo. For the rest of this evening, these showers will be arriving closer to sunset, and thunderstorms will be possible after sunset, although I do think a lot of this will fall apart. Can't rule out maybe a rumble of thunder later this evening and early tonight, but not expecting much more than that. Tomorrow night, some energy from the sun is expected to interact with Earth's atmosphere, potentially producing the northern lights. And the opportunity is there. It looks like skies will be clear. It looks like the best time would be after sunset, anytime before midnight, although it is possible that this could linger into tomorrow night. My advice, if you're really trying to capture these, is to download an Aurora app. There are many of them out there that can track this in real time because that is the way that you're going to be able to do that. And if you pay attention to this stuff, you could get lucky. You have to have a camera that can take night mode photos. This was right here on Smith Hill 1 month ago. And again, this is a night mode camera. It didn't look quite this bright to the naked eye, but you could see them. We're hoping that we might get lucky again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night as well, don't forget we have a meteor shower. The Lyrid meteor shower continues. It peaks tonight, but cloud cover will be an issue tonight to see this. 5 to 10 meteors per hour, looking in the direction of Lyra, which is in the north after sunset. Temperatures are not bad. 55 degrees in Little Falls, 62 in Deansboro, Westernville, 59. Across Southern Valleys, Cooperstown, 61, Oneonta, 59 degrees. This is pretty close to average for this time of the year. We are tracking a cold front moving in from the west. That'll produce showers and a few rumbles of thunder tonight. Behind it, the weather does dry out, and we'll get a chance to see some sunshine tomorrow. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the upper 40s. Clouds early tomorrow give way to sunshine, a nice afternoon, bit of a breeze. Temperatures climb to near 60 degrees. Clear skies tomorrow night. Overnight lows drop down into the low 30s. Wednesday looks like a nice day, partly to mostly sunny skies with high temperatures in the upper 50s. Showers tonight, low temperature of 47. Tomorrow, clouds give way to sunshine, high temperatures in the upper 50s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast, low 60s Wednesday, low 70s Thursday. Really warms up by Friday, highs in the mid 70s. Some showers return late as another cold front arrives. Showers on Saturday. Temperatures in the low 60s Sunday and into the upper 60s on Monday. So a pretty warm week ahead.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, Bill, thank you. The National Weather veteran runner, Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
A good day for a run. Very comfortable conditions out there, although we do have to dodge a few showers here later this evening. I wanted to bring up something that was talked about a lot yesterday. The interesting clouds in the sky. If you saw something like this, a very sharp line of clouds, and wondering what that was all about, this has to do with something called wind shear. These are high clouds, and the wind is creating this very distinct shape, this very distinct line in the sky as it blows much faster on the other side. This picture from Meg Nolan in Verona. And again, we had a lot of people taking different angles of that same cloud as it stretched across our area. This was yesterday afternoon. Temperatures over the next several days, we're really going to be warming up. We're in the 50s tomorrow, low 60s Wednesday, into the 70s again as we look ahead to Thursday and Friday. The average high this time of the year is around 60, so we will be above average for a few days this week. A few sprinkles out there in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Just keep that in mind if you're going to be taking the dog for a walk or maybe going for a run. Temperatures will be in the 50s this evening. Again, a few passing showers. Tonight's featured dog is Alice from Ilion. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Tomorrow is...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Tracking clouds and a few showers as we head into later this evening. Temperature of 61 degrees in Cooperstown. Cloudy skies. Not too bad of a day. We did get some showers and a few rumbles of thunder earlier. As we take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, things are looking relatively quiet for now. A couple of sprinklers are showing up. I am keeping an eye to the west. We are watching a few thunderstorms and even a few severe thunderstorms out in the Buffalo area. The ingredients for severe weather are a lot stronger out here compared to east, and I am pretty confident that by the time these head east, they will weaken a lot, especially since these are going to arrive after sunset. But again, a rumble of thunder can't be ruled out, and of course we will watch this closely as it moves in. But again, we're expecting mostly a few downpours and maybe a rumble of thunder here heading into tonight. The hummingbirds continue to migrate north. We've had hummingbirds sightings in Malta and into the Hudson Valley and southern New England. I think they're going to be arriving here sooner than later, probably over the next 1 to 2 weeks, especially with the warm weather pattern that we're expecting here over the next few days. Pollen counts high. If you suffer from pollen, Today's levels were in the medium category, but tomorrow they turn high, and it's actually very high here, and they remain high Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're getting into that time of the year where things are really starting to green up, and it's going to happen very quickly over the next couple of weeks. Bob and Clinton, 56 degrees, Barneveld, 53, Old Forge, 49, Jeff and Mohawk, 55, Stewart and Cooperstown, 60, Worcester with 60 degrees. We have a cold front approaching from the west, again producing showers and a few rumbles of thunder. This is going to move through tonight. In the wake of it, the weather cools down slightly, but also it brings us clear skies heading into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, scattered showers tonight, a rumble of thunder. Overnight lows drop into the upper 40s. Clouds early tomorrow give way to sunshine. Looks like a really nice afternoon. High temperatures close to 60 degrees. Clear skies expected tomorrow night. You have the chance of seeing the northern lights tomorrow night. Sky conditions look clear, so we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. We'll start out in the 30s heading into Wednesday morning, and Wednesday afternoon looks like a nice day. Sunshine, a little bit warmer too with high temperatures near 60. Scattered showers tonight, a rumble of thunder, a low of 47. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds, 57 for the high, a west wind at around 10 miles an hour. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Wednesday, 62. We're up to 72 on Thursday. A few showers late Friday, 74. So some warm weather later this week. We're into the low 60s over the weekend. Showers Saturday, dry Sunday. Temperatures close to 70 again. Looking ahead to Monday. We'll be right back.